So this figure may not look like Rosario Dawson, but it does look like the prototype we were shown, and it sure as hell does look like Ahsoka to me. Let's take a closer look. Hi everyone, welcome to 16 Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the fact that Hot Toys have finally released Ahsoka Tano based on the likeness of Rosario Dawson. We'll get to that, from the TV show The Mandalorian, that now iconic, and I do think it's okay to say iconic because that was some of the best. I go as far as saying it's nearly my favourite piece of Star Wars media to date. That episode, especially the opening few minutes with Ahsoka Tano, the two blades, the proportions on the character, the look of the character with the Leikus and the the orange and the even like the exposed shoulders, the costume, the kind of ninja inspired look. Again, the two white lightsabers, the kind of green mist and those kind of like I don't know, really robots she was trying to defend trying to attack. The way she was just kind of like stealthy and Jedi-like. Basically, I really liked it. The music, the atmosphere, the effects, the action, and of course Rosario Dawson's real life version, representation, whatever you want to call it, of Ahsoka Tano. Love it, absolutely love it. This figure is a triple threat through and through. Do I love the character Ahsoka? I feel kind of guilty saying that. I feel a bit like a fake fan though. My introduction, I have seen some of the Clone Wars, but not all the Clone Wars. But I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I'm a big Mandalorian fan, and I just thought that episode was amazing. So now I'm a big Ahsoka Tano fan. I really like this particular version of Ahsoka. I'm working my way through the Clone Wars, but anyway, do I love the character Ahsoka? Rosario Dawson's representation, portrayal of the character, 100% I'm behind it. Do I love the source material, the Mandalorian, and that particular episode? 100%. That stands out in my head as one of the best Mandalorian episodes out there. And let's face it, there's quite a good few amazing parts to that Mandalorian story. The Walking Dead, just bear with me. When I think of The Walking Dead, I think of the first few seasons when it was I think at its peak, I think right up until Negan at his, how do I say this? I think the best Walking Dead is from the start of The Walking Dead show right up to Negan at his peak. I'm gonna say peak asshole, because Negan was a horrible character, but a brilliant character. You love to hate him. But when I think of The Walking Dead, I think it's season 2 episode 7. I don't want to spoil it, but that's directed by, I remember watching it, and the music and the tone. I remember Shane, that character in it, he's basically saying, Rick, we gotta open up this barn and kill all these people. These aren't people, they're zombies. But then Rick is kind of going, we have to respect Herschel because Herschel's letting them stay and it's his property. And it's that kind of, two very different leadership styles. Now, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen The Walking Dead, and particularly season 2 episode 7, what happens. But when Rick steps up, if you know, when Rick steps up with the music and he does makes the hard decision, what has to be done at the end of that episode, it was just a beautiful piece of cinema or cinema TV, whatever. And that is the episode that stands out, one of the episodes that stands out to me. I'll always remember Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 7. And I had to look up who's producing this. This is brilliant. And it's Frank Darabont, the director-producer of Shawshank Redemption. Anyway, that was a bit of a massive tangent. My point is, in good shows, certain episodes stand out, and her episode really stood out. So, do I love the source material? Yes. Love the character, love the source material. Do I love this particular version? Yes, because this is the live action version. I tend to gravitate towards live action. I don't collect Clone Wars. I don't collect animated things really. It's film, TV. That's actually, if you're watching on film, is the correct way of pronouncing film. So my collecting is based in my love of movies and film, and I actually got it right that time. Go me. And TV, good TV. So tend not to collect animation. Never know. That's subject to change. So she is the definition of a triple threat. Love the character, love the source material, and love this particular live action version of Ahsoka. I'm going to get the criticism out of the way. It doesn't really look like Rosario Dawson to me. Okay, does that matter? No. Don't get me wrong, I like a good head sculpt. I don't like. It's really disappointing when you have an Ant-Man, the Paul Rudd smiling sculpt, or the Tony Stank, and I know they're the go-to, they're extreme examples. It was really poor. They're not even soft head sculpts. They're just they just don't look good, I think, in my personal opinion. Sorry if you have them. But like this here, I can kind of see Rosario Dawson at certain angles, but it's definitely not a strong head sculpt. It doesn't matter though. To me at the moment, it doesn't matter, because it's just like they got the skin tone right. I'm really glad they gave us seamless shoulders. They got the Lekus right, and it's Ahsoka true and true. When I look at this, I think of obviously Ahsoka from that particular episode of The Mandalorian. I can see Rosario Dawson at angles, but I'd be lying to myself if I said I saw Rosario Dawson here true and true. So that's the first thing. Okay, the head sculpt, not as close to Rosario Dawson as I was like, but the fact that this figure is so stunning looking, they've got more right with this than they have wrong. The proportions, the outfit, the skin tone, the matching skin tone between the exposed seamless shoulders and the matching of the orange on the face as well. The Lekus, I actually really like the diorama base, even though I think it was brother cousin Jay Brother Cousins, shout out to Jay Brother Cousins, pointed out that it's a reused one from Yoda, but it was kind of a similar environment, so I'm willing to let that slide. And shout out to Mario, I think he's right at this is the only thing DX about this is the foam packaging. Let's be honest, like, it's a fairly light DX here, long from the days of 2-pack Bespin Lukes. I'm really hyped about this. I've had this paid off for ages. I've had the shipping paid off for ages. You know, I'm probably not going to get it for a while, but yeah, look, I just that's the first thing. I'm really happy about it. I just don't think the head sculpt is as good as it could have been. But it does look like the prototype, because I'm going to switch to the prototype now. And even in these two images, these close-up images, I don't see Rosario Dawson here either. So I knew what I was buying. I knew what I was getting myself into. Maybe slightly here, but I don't see it here. I don't know, is it something to do with the lips or something like that? Because she kind of has full kind of lips, Rosario Dawson, and she's such a unique, beautiful looking person as well. So yeah, look, we're going to flick through some of these, but that's my point. I don't think it looks like Rosario Dawson, but it also does look like the prototype, and I don't think the prototype looked that much like Rosario Dawson, but it's 100% Ahsoka live action, true and true. I mean, come on, like, you can't deny it. This looks stunning. I'm just going to gush over these. So look, this is out now. It's $315 for the deluxe, and I'll show you what it comes with. Basically Grogu in a diorama base, or it's $285 for the regular. That's an intense looking stare. Like, I don't see Rosario Dawson here, but I see a badass Ahsoka Tano live action Mandalorian version. Proportions look great. I really like the Lekus. I just, the shoulders, they've actually nailed the look of her shoulders. That's a strange thing to say, but like, she's kind of like, you know, she has kind of strong looking athletic shoulders in the show, and I think they've actually captured the proportions quite well. Really like the outfit here, the belt and the detail and the braids in the belt, and this kind of silver kind of thing looks like a buckle, kind of slightly baggy, almost kind of like ninja style what are they, pants or whatever, I suppose. I like the split in the boot here, very kind of like an Asian influence or something like that. The two lightsaber strange move, we knew they weren't going to be USB, because it was after this when they started teasing prototypes or showing prototypes with USB powered lightsabers, like the Grand Inquisitor and the Kenobi and the Reva. I think it was actually Kenobi from the Kenobi show was the first one that is due to get USB lightsabers, and then obviously you have the Vader, the Reva, the Grand Inquisitor, and all the other ones after that. Surely all Jedi or Sith now that come with lightsabers from after the Kenobi are going to get those USB powered lightsabers. Funny, these don't even light up at all. I thought that was a strange move. I have to take a good look at an unboxing to see how like bright the paintwork is on them, but I don't know why they did. That's a strange move. Maybe because there's two of them, that'd be awkward putting batteries into the two arms or something like that, or maybe it's just because they're kind of, they're white blades or something like that. But look, I love all of this. I'm really excited about this. I mean, it's just, when it comes to the Mandalorian, like, I'm not a completionist anyway. Like, you know, I collect the original trilogy Mandalorian, like Rogue One or whatever, but realistically, most of my Star Wars collection, my 6 scale, is original trilogy, and then I have Troopers, which span from ending from original trilogy to Rogue One to Mandalorian. But being a Trooper collector is tough. But for Mandalorian, like, it's the key episode. So I think of this one, kind of using that like Walking Dead analogy again. When I think of the key episodes of Mandalorian that pop into my head, the first one, the first ever one, because you've the Durasteel Mando, I have that. Then I've got the Beskar Mando. May or may not upgrade to the Chrome. Don't have any desire at the moment, but I could change your mind. Boba Robot 2-pack, because that episode was amazing. This one, amazing. And then Luke, like that'd be at the season 2 one. So there'd be like 5 kind of key things that I have them all on pre-order or here behind me. I think this is the last one. Oh, Luke I haven't pre-ordered, but I'm going to wait to see how it turns out. And I'm also conscious of the fact that Besman Luke, I can't pass on that, and I already have a Snowspeeder Luke. And then what do I do then? Do I get it? All the Lukes? You know, you kind of have to draw the line somewhere. But I'm just gushing over this now. Love it. Like the blogger, I think, did a great job with this. The seamless shoulders, they just add so much more realism and life to this. I'm looking at this, it looks like a person. You have to double take to go, oh, actually, it's not. It looks like a person in makeup to look like this species or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I actually love the cloak it comes with, the oversized hood, and just having the Leikus coming out like that. Cool look. Like, even this photo here, it looks so lifelike. It looks like an actress with all the paint and the headdress and all that kind of stuff on. It just doesn't necessarily look like Rosario Dawson. I can kind of see hints of it in certain angles, but overall, not so much. I love this lightsaber blade, the way this one's curved. I actually like the way the 2 different lightsaber hilts are different. I think that's an interesting take on it. I even like the way that, obviously these are photoshopped to make them look like they're illuminated, so it's not going to look like that on the shelf. I'd imagine it's only a matter of time, if they haven't done so already, that someone, those custom blades, those custom lightsabers at CCFL or something like that, before you get these custom ones. I wonder how they'll turn out in white. I don't think I've ever seen them before. You get a Grogu there with more articulation than usual. I think, if you have any Mandalorian figures, chances are you already had or have a Grogu, baby Grogu. I mean, just myself, I have the Beskar Mandalorian Deluxe, not the Chrome one, the kind of deluxe one version that came before that, and that came with a baby Grogu. It actually came with 2, one for the Prime and one kind of freestanding. The Scout Trooper, the Mandalorian Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike came with a Grogu, and of course this comes with a Grogu, and like loads of different figures basically comes with them. But I think this is nice together. If you had, like, again, I love figures that come with a lot of accessories and that you can actually pose them with all the accessories but not make it look like you're just trying to shoehorn all the accessories on. So for example, you could have this posed here with the base, you could have the lantern, which doesn't actually light up. That's Photoshop as well, that doesn't light up. The little lantern's nice touch that's hanging off the bark there, and you could have Grogu there, and you could have her there with the lightsabers out, maybe standing next to him to protect him or something like that, with the cloak on and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, do you know what I really like as well? These on the arms, say like above the wrists, the kind of what I call gauntlets. These gauntlets, this is kind of like a strange turquoisey blue. The way there's loads of chipping on them. I like the shape of the gauntlets. I like the fact that she has gauntlets, and the fact that they're kind of almost like Mandalorian, almost like it's the kind of Boba Fett or, Din Djarin style. They're kind of, I can see kind of an influence there from them, or the armored parts. It's like she took them off a clone trooper or something like that. I mean, that's a cool look there either. I think I would want her with the I actually really like the look with the kind of poncho cloak thing, but I think maybe I'd put the lantern hanging off a branch, put Grogu maybe on the base, and then have her in a bit more of like a call to action type pose, as if she just noticed something creeping up on them and then she's ready to fight. But even that's a cool pose. Yeah, so like, just to summarize, I've got this paid off, got the shipping paid off, went for the deluxe version with the Grogu and the diorama base. I think it's a beautiful looking figure. I think they've nailed the figure and nailed the likeness of Ahsoka. I think it does look like the prototype, but just in the face there, they could have done better to get the likeness of Rosario Dawson, but it's not going to make a difference. I have to pick this up. I'm really excited about this. And usually, when you're really excited about a figure and the head sculpt isn't, a knockout, like as in it doesn't even have to be a knockout. Maybe like not everything has to be a 10 or a 9, and not everything is a 10 or a 9, or not everything's like a Yondu or I don't know who's a good head sculpt, a Krennic or something like that. But like for this with the makeup, I think you kind of get away with it a bit. Whereas if you think of Yondu, in fairness, Yondu had makeup too, blue makeup all over his face, but you could still tell it was Michael Rooker underneath. Yeah, so look, I like the proportions. I like the outfit. I still like the head sculpt. I think it looks like very good. Just again, I'm not even going to say it again. The Lakers look great. Two lightsaber hilts look great in the lightsabers themselves. Pity they don't light up, but I'm just wondering what they will look like on the shelf. All different. Yeah, I'm just really excited about this. Of course, her show's coming out, and she's more than likely going to have another figure from that with some slightly different outfit or something like that, or something updated. Such a cool character. She'll pose very well with the Beskar Mandalorian, either one, the chrome or the regular. And there's like loads of different ideas popping into my head. How can I display her? You can display her on her own without the diorama base, without the poncho. You could display her, like I said earlier, with everything, like incorporating the blades and the poncho cloak and the diorama base and the little baby Grogu. You could have her back to back with Din Djarin, or like just kind of like fighting and stuff like that. It's just very cool. They've done a great version with the shoulders here. I really hope they don't split. It's a simple thing though. If you don't want to like if the lightsabers don't look well, just say hypothetically, and I don't know because I don't have this in hand yet, but I actually think it's really nice having the hilts just hanging off the figure's belt. I like the way they give you that option. So simple, but I mean, just over my shoulder here, like there, you can see I have I always get this wrong, there we go, the Empire Strikes Back Snowspeeder Luke, and he's got the lightsaber just hanging off the hilt. I think it's a nice touch. Yeah, this looks great. Even that looks cool. I mean, come on, the blogger. I think the blogger has done a great. The blogger has done a great job with these photos. It really looks animated. It does look. She looks alive. That's pretty cool as well. I nearly want to go away and watch this again. Yeah, look. In conclusion, I'm gonna close this video the exact same way I opened it. This is a great representation of Ahsoka Tano. I do think it looks like the prototype, but the thing about the prototype is they didn't exactly nail the Rosario Dawson look there, and unfortunately the figure hasn't either. Maybe at certain angles I can see it, but I really don't care. This figure is beautiful. Can't wait until it comes into the collection. So that's the end of this video. If you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know if you're picking this one up or not. Let me know if you think it looks like Rosario or not. Maybe I'm way wrong and I need my eyesight tested. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.